And we're on. We're recording now.
We are? Oh,
yeah,
great.
Oh,
right
wow.
Now.
Okay.
Finally.
Okay. I'm going to make this very clear. As crystal clear as I can make it. Why we have not made an episode 4 of the podcast is completely and utterly this asshole's fault.
Excuse me?
Yes.
No.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You moved.
Yeah.
And then we got COVID.
Yeah.
Which was, a kick in the pants.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then we kept putting it off, and then now we're here.
Wait. We got COVID like a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't shot a podcast in 7 months. How do you explain the other 6?
It has not been 7 months.
It has.
Has it actually?
7 months.
It's funny how time goes by.
Yeah.
Well, life came up, and and now we're back.
Back.
For better or for worse.
Better or worse. Sickness and health.
Oh, we already did the sickness part.
Come in a penis. Should we edit that out? No, I'm not editing it out. So
cream filling.
I'm trying to hold in a burp right now.
I was just so you know, we were drinking Dr. Pepper, so
Mine's
I've been
bigger.
trying to hold mine, and
mine's bigger.
Oh, I know. I got the little stubby can. You got the whole bottle. Oh yeah. Ooh.
ASMR action.
You gotta do like the fizz. Oh, good God. Stop making
if someone's got headphones on, they're gonna be like, oh, my ears.
They're gonna get like shivers of
like, oh, God.
Ooh, turn it up, replay.
So on a serious note, we got COVID.
We did. I got COVID from someone I live with.
And you gave it to me.
Yes, which I didn't know. I tested negative at the time, but I wasn't feeling well. And I was helping you move. So it was sooner or later, unfortunately, and then,
I didn't know COVID was sexually transmitted, but that's how I got it.
Yeah. I mean, it's that or AIDS, I think we pulled the long straw on that one.
But no, he helped me move, and that's, I think, how it all went down. Lindsay got affected. I got affected. Quarantine. For it was 2 weeks, but then an extra week of it was a lot of complicated stuff.
They wanted to cover to make sure, because we had the UK variant, which was new.
It was a variant.
We had the worst of the worst, the most contagious, the most deadly.
Yeah.
We made it. It was not fun.
So, one thing I will send like a good PSA out there is wear a mask.
Wear a mask, sanitize,
wear a mask.
Keep your distance. Do not treat it as just it's like the cold or the flu, because it starts off like that, and this is from personal experience. And then it just takes it's a kick in the pants, folks.
Okay.
Not fun.
When someone says they're anti-mask, I'm not going to scream at them and say, you're an idiot, what's wrong with the world? But I will say to them, don't expect to go into a lot of places.
No. They think it's be like, oh, well, it's judge them right. It's like, okay, you do have the right to not wear a mask.
Of course.
However, we do have the right to refuse you. Because it is a pandemic, folks.
Yeah.
This isn't like, just some regular thing. People are dying, and it's it's affecting the world. It's a very serious thing. Yeah. You have the right not to wear a mask. If you don't believe that, that's fine. Whether you believe it or not, it exists.
If you go into a store and they say you're not allowed in without a mask, that is their property. That is a privately owned business.
That's right.
You don't have to wear a mask. But at the same time, they don't have to have you in their store.
And they act so shocked, too. Like,
yes.
I can't go in. Why? And I've seen this firsthand. When I was in Walmart, just in the south end here in Barrie, and I saw someone not wearing a mask, and a associate went over and told them, and they just absolutely lost their shit.
Yeah.
And she just, I'm allowed to be. I have a medical condition. Okay. Well, we can give you a face shield. Well, I don't want that. I can't. I feel claustrophobic. Well, then you can shop online or you can leave. It's that simple.
I always feel like if you have that much anxiety over a mask, why are you going outside?
Exactly. You can do, that's the greatest thing about the 21st century. You can do almost everything online.
And also the funny thing,
and they deliver.
Another funny thing is, they're scared of a mask, but they're not scared of the virus.
No, it's a little oxymoron.
It's a little weird.
It's very reverse.
I like, well, wouldn't it be funny? You got the virus, you're like, hey, I should wear a mask.
It doesn't go with their fashion statement.
I have a cousin named Adam.
Oh, God.
He's anti-mask.
We love him.
Yeah.
Great guy.
Yeah. He's
Don't share all his views, but Yeah, great guy. But he doesn't.
I was in Walmart one time with him, and he he had the mask, but he kept doing the slip down, slip his mask off when the employees they left. Yeah. So every time I walked with him in Walmart, people stared at him. I kind of walked further ahead of him. You kept
your distance. I don't know him.
He's like.
I had to go into Shoppers with him one time, and his son, which is because his car broke down, so I had to drive him around. Which I didn't mind. It was actually fun, and we go in there, and I'm like, "Oh, do you have a mask?" He's like, "Oh, we don't need a mask," and the kid doesn't. And I felt I don't want to say embarrassed, but I just felt, you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. I kept my distance because everybody was staring, and I'm like, "Uh-oh," because if they talk to him, he might make a scene. Yeah. And I just wanted to get in and out of there, and we did. No, thankfully nobody said anything, but I was like, "Uh-oh." It felt like something in a TV show. I love them, but yeah.
And let me get this also clear, people. Nobody wants masks gone more than me. I would love to go to a store now and not wear a mask anymore. That'd be great.
Do you know what feels weird? Great. It's gonna feel weird going into a store again without a mask. You're gonna feel like you're naked in a weird way. Bit. You're gonna be like, "Oh, where's my mask? Oh, where's my car key?" Same thing.
Yeah, it's so ingrained. When this is all done, a guy's gonna be sitting, standing behind you in a lineup. You're like, "Hey, you're too close, man! Come on now." Oh wait, we're not in a pandemic. Lick my face.
It's gonna be weird going to those jam-packed concerts where everyone's like shoulder to shoulder,
sweating on you,
coughing,
jerking off on you. Whoa. Yeah, just doing lines of cocaine on you.
Kind of concerts you going to?
Enough about my Friday night, but but I think a good PSA for me to say is wear a mask. I'm not forced. I'm not saying you have to wear a mask. I'm just saying it's a safety thing. It's just, it's kind of like, put your seatbelt on when you drive in a car. Oh. You don't have to, but if you get in a car accident, you probably will die.
Might help. Yeah.
Yeah. Good so chance.
It'll feel a lot better if you just put on the seatbelt.
For your safety. It's not just I'm trying to control you. The government conspiracies. Yeah. I'm trying to control you. Wearing a mask is like mind control. I will fully admit there's some government shit I fully fucking don't agree with, but a mask I do agree with. So wear that mask.
I'm with you on that 100%.
Yeah. So wear a mask. Anyways, first topic. A lot of things have came out since the last time we talked. Yeah. And we're not going to talk about all of them because that's too much. And a lot of it was crap. But the one thing that wasn't crap, WandaVision.
Oh boy,
WandaVision's good.
Now, before we go, before we go ahead with the topic of WandaVision, if there's anybody who has not seen the show yet and you're avoiding spoilers for the future, just a heads up, we are going to be full spoiler. We're going to be talking about all the reveals.
I'll put
and secrets.
Time codes.
Yes,
I'll put
skip to that time code.
I'll put all the time codes of all the topics we're talking about. So just go to the next time code on the next topic if you don't want to hear spoilers of WandaVision. And if you're wondering what spoilers, all of the spoilers from everything recently. If you only watched the first episode, first two episodes, probably don't listen. Unless you don't care about spoilers, then who cares then?
Yeah. We're just letting you know, just a heads up. From here on out, there's full spoilers and WandaVision.
Okay.
Let's talk about the big thing. Because this is
how about we start with the first, then we'll go to
Oh, you want to do that?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought we were going to do the big cat out of the bag.
No. We'll start low, and then we'll go to the very top.
Oh, so we're going all the way back to the 1950s.
The very original. A lot of people, I understand, but I actually loved it. Some people...
Are you going to say they ditched it?
Yeah, some people... Yes, they did. A lot of people hated the first two episodes of WandaVision.
Because they thought, what is this?
What is this trash?
But then, actually, just with the last episode, Disney Plus crashed because it became the most watched show on this year so far on TV or anything streamed. Because all of a sudden, everyone's like, oh, wait, this is good. Yeah, everyone's talking about it. But the first two episodes, I think that's why they released 1 and 2 at the same time. Because it's different. But let's start with the first episode.
I was never in agreement on that. I actually thought there was this charm to the first two episodes.
There was a mystery to it because it was unlike anything the MCU has ever done. So just to be clear, what they did was they decided to...
There's not really a lot of spoilers in the first two episodes.
No, there's more of a mystery because you don't know how it fits into the MCU. There are hints, but they don't exactly... It's not like you're watching Ant-Man. You're like, oh, this is superhero. You know what I mean? MCU, that's great. The reference... people or events that take place, but this was different because it starts off and they know as a TV show, a 1950s sitcom like Leave It to Beaver, and they know or she knows they're in a TV show and they play it like that.
Yeah.
They actually film in front of a live crowd. So it's very weird. Like, how does this fit into the Marvel universe?
As soon as the show began to, though, the first thing I wanted to know is Vision alive?
Yeah, how is he back? Because if you don't know, is he alive? Died in Infinity War because Thanos. Well, first of all, Wanda killed him.
Is he a dead body just walking around?
Yeah, is he puppeting? I don't think so. I don't think so because he tried to. I think he's actually a living thing, but that's where it gets complicated. Same thing with her kids.
She can create life. She's like God.
In the comics, she could create anything with do anything with just a thought of her mind. She can even do it without even thinking about it. That's actually how in the comics she erased all the mutants. Just like that. No more mutants. Which is a famous thing. Yeah. But yes.
The funniest thing about the first 2 episodes, the reason we'll go over the first little bit just very fast. The reason I like the first 2 episodes is because it had this charm to it. It was funny.
It felt like you're watching like an old
like a I Love Lucy or something. Yes. Very funny, very enjoyable. There's some of the jokes were just almost so lame. They're hilarious.
They were of the time.
Yeah. It's just like these lame jokes that were funny. I was laughing a lot, and I thought it was great. I was having a good time with it.
You got to see Elizabeth Olsen and Paul Bettany just really expand their scope of that because you actually got to see them like they were great characters before, but now you actually get to see them with range, and you're like, this is interesting, but how does it fit in? And there are moments. Okay, we should let you know that, as you know, if you watch the show. The aspect ratio is of the time. So in the first couple episodes, it's very like letterbox, like because they had square TVs back then. That was the format. And then there are moments where things start to get very surreal and weird. Yeah, like they're breaking the fourth wall, and the aspect ratio changes to widescreen, which you're used to seeing in a movie. Yeah, and that's to let you know something's changed, something's different. Yeah, and it's eerie and it's great, but there are a lot of creepy moments that really pull you out, and you're like, "This isn't right."
Like when the guy's choking,
and the girl's like, "Oh, stop it!" And then, but then they break character, and then they're like, "Oh, like nothing ever happened." Okay, we'll come by later, and oh yeah, you got the promotion. And Vision, they both don't know where they came from and what's going on, but they're kind of going with it. Yeah, it's their life, but something is going on.
I never liked Vision very much. I don't know why. I just never liked him. This show's made me like him, though. Yes. I never enjoyed him. I thought he was a boring character. Paul Bettany, I always thought was just a mediocre actor. I never loved him. I never loved him. I've enjoyed him in some movies like A Knight's Tale and A Beautiful Mind, but I've never loved him. And then him as Vision, I was like, he's okay. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a Vision guy.
I think the reason you don't like Vision, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the reason you don't like him is because he's too powerful. Like, he could just go through walls. He could fix things like this. Yeah. He's too powerful. Yeah. But this show makes it, he doesn't even know who he is. And he's very,
when a character is too powerful, the less interesting they are.
I know who you're going to mention.
The more vulnerable a character is and the more humanistic a character is how we can relate to them.
You really do feel for Vision, especially something that happens later on. It's very... Yeah,
the whole show I'm on his side because he just wants to know what the fuck is going on, and we all do.
Yeah, he does. And then he finds that he doesn't even. They have arguments. So throughout the whole show, it's implied that Wanda is creating this whole because it's called WandaVision.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, and they literally are in a TV show because people from the outside can see the show. It's very meta, so they know they're in a show. But each episode goes through a different decade. So the first
and the theme song changes,
and it changes. Like the first one is very based on like Leave the Beaver, those very classic homegrown shows.
Then they went to like Bewitched.
Yep, the '60s Bewitched. Was that other And there's like the Brady Bunch.
And then they did like a Full House kind of one.
No. The 60s was Bewitched, and then the 70s was very like Full House. Yeah. And then
and they did Malcolm in the Middle for 90s.
Yeah, because 80s was very like Full House, and then Malcolm. Yeah, even the intro very Reverend. And then 2000 was very like The Office, Happy Endings, and
Modern Family.
Yeah. Down to they aren't even hiding it, and that's the great part.
But all right, so we'll just skip ahead. We find out it's a television show.
Yes.
And when she knocks, what's her name? What's the character's name? When she knocks her out of the world.
Her character's name is
one.
So the character's name is Geraldine, and You find out later that is Monica Rambeau, who was the little girl. Mm-hmm. She's all grown up now. She was the little girl in Captain Marvel. She was the little. Hey.
Say it again.
Captain Marvel. I know you're not a fan of it. I am. I love the whole Kree thing, and then you find out they're actually good guys.
One more time.
Captain Marvel.
Go ahead. Keep going.
Okay. So she went by. She was called, Lieutenant Trouble, like in the comics. Anyway, she's all grown up. She's a sword agent now. She's actually captain. She was actually in the Snap. So, and then she came back, and you do see that, which is really cool. So she's somehow into the show, which you find out how. But she's playing like a different character because, again, they don't realize they are. And then she's shot out, and then, yeah. You've seen the show, you know what happens.
Yeah.
So she thinks that there's something more going on because the way the show is, it's painting Wanda as, sorry, there's a Friends poster in front of me. So
just stare at it. Just pivot.
That was a good nap.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Just edit that part.
That's fine. Right.
Yeah,
no problem.
Where was sorry, I lost my train of thought. Yeah, just edit this part out.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Right. So you find out the way they're structuring the show is you think that Wanda is the villain, that she's doing all this and nefariously, and there's a reason. That is partially true. However, Monica Rambeau believes that there is more to this, that something is controlling Wanda, because this doesn't seem like her. Because in the context of the timeline of the MCU, Endgame only happened a few weeks ago. In context, Far From Home, Spider-Man took place a year after. So this is only like weeks away. It's still fresh. The Snap, or like everybody came back from the Snap and Tony died. And yeah, so it's still fresh. So she's still grieving because to her, Vision, because she was in the Snap, Vision only died weeks ago.
Yeah.
So she's in a tough spot right now.
Yeah.
So you get why she brought him back.
Yeah.
And as we learn later on, she actually is in control, but she's not. She's actually being manipulated by somebody through her grief.
Yeah.
And throughout the whole episode, there's this person, the nosy neighbor.
Yeah.
And
Catherine Hahn.
Yeah, she's great. Loved her in Parks and Rec. So she plays a character named Agnes.
Crazy witch.
Yes, which you find out later on. But she's played as like this. She's always there, offering solutions, little tips and everything. Just a little too much. She's like that nosy neighbor in all the sitcoms, right? Who's always over there annoying people like, okay.
Yeah.
However, you notice little hints that she's not, because everybody else is being controlled like a character, right? But she's always out of character. She's always aware of things. So they offer little hints that something's not right with her. And then the big reveal in the last episode is she's the character in the comics known as Agatha Harkness, who is also a magical being. And that she's controlling Wanda for nefarious purposes. Exactly. She even has her own laugh and everything, which they hint at because she even was wearing a witch's outfit. She's wearing a brooch. She's wearing purple like her comic book counterpart. And Agnes is an abbreviation of Agatha Harkness. Agnes.
Yeah.
So, which was pretty in plain view once you see it. So yeah, and so we do actually have a villain now in the show.
Yeah.
And it's not Wanda, and that she's being manipulated by her grief, which you can understand.
You also have a fake Quicksilver, Pedro.
Pietro.
Yeah.
Did you say Pedro?
Pedro?
Mexican Quicksilver. Pedro?
Idiot.
Idiot. God.
Oh.
Eat your food, Tina.
Do you think Napoleon Dynamite's gonna make a
that would have been great when she opens up the door. Who is it? Who's it? Eat your food, Tina. God. I would have lost my shit. Have you seen all the memes of that? Like she opens up the door and it's Thanos. And she's like, it's everybody showing up, and you're like, what? It's just so. There was one where it was Officer Doofy showing up in a scary movie.
He's got the mask.
This many.
Okay. Another thing the show also did is it made me like Darcy.
She's a great character in this.
I hated her in the Thor films. She was so annoying, irritating. She wasn't funny.
I gave her a pass because I've always had a crush on
Kat Dennings.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The only movie I ever liked Kat Dennings in was Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist.
Oh, yeah.
Other than that, I never was a fan.
They give her something to do in this. In
She's
the Thor
enjoyable.
movies, she was just there, offered some quick lines, maybe some like, a lot of, what's the word?
Comic relief.
Comic relief, thank you. And
I thought she was annoying in the films, but I like her in the show. I like her.
They give her something to do, and they And Marvel has created the ultimate trio because you have her, Darcy Lewis,
Yeah.
Monica Rambeau, and then, of course, Jimmy Woo.
From Ant-Man.
Yeah, and he's perfect in this because he's getting them coffee. He's always got a smile. He's that awesome best friend you want. And they even poke fun at that. And it's just, they're a great trio. Yeah.
Do you have any predictions what's going to happen next episode?
So I have my own personal, from watching things on the internet and just knowing my comic history and stuff. What do I think is going to happen in the last 2 episodes? So I think they're done with the sitcom format.
Yeah.
We've officially, because we're in the modern day now, I think it's going to go full MCU. Because Paul Bettany was talking about how in the last bit, it's going to go full action MCU, what we're used to. And they're going to be like an hour. It's going to be like a 2-hour movie.
Which is what the fanboys watch.
Yes. Now we have a villain, and it's going to be great.
We left for the first 2 episodes. Now we're back.
We're back. It's MCU. We got it back. So what I think is going to happen is there is a rumor that, because you find out that she's Agatha Harkness, I think what's going to happen is you're going to find out that she's actually working for somebody, because in her dungeon, which Wanda finds out and then is manipulated. You find out, if you've seen the show, you know exactly what we're talking about. You find out that there's this book and it's emanating this magic, but it's very dark magic. And there's a reason they showed it. It's going to play. They have to. Now, people were talking about how there's a possibility that Doctor Strange will show up. And I think that's very likely. Because Kevin Feige, when they first announced these films, said that WandaVision is the first part in a 3-part story. And how it's going to play out is you have WandaVision, and the events of WandaVision set up Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, which Elizabeth Olsen is in, and they said it does carry over. So there's a reason, and it deals with the multiverse.
Yeah.
That's also why the guy who plays Quicksilver is Evan Peters.
Yeah.
That's not by a fluke. Marvel just, you know what I mean? They're not dumb. There's a reason. They might have did that to be meta, but I actually think there's a slight possibility that he is from the 20th Century Fox.
Could you imagine if she opened the door and it was Hugh Jackman?
There is a thing that Paul Bettany was talking about in an interview a couple weeks ago. He said there is an actor who I've always wanted to work with my whole life. He does show up and he plays a character that has not been leaked or revealed. And he said it will blow people's minds. And people are thinking, is it Benedict Cumberbatch? Is it, so-and-so? Yeah. And they're going through his resume and they're like, no, he worked with them on this. He's worked with them on that. And he says, it's not them, but he says, it's an actor I've always wanted to work with. And it gets intense. Okay. So people are thinking, is it Patrick Stewart? Is it Ian? They don't know, because it's like, well, who has he worked with? It has to be someone who's older, right?
Yeah.
So I think we're going to get some pretty big reveals. But it does lead into the multiverse because, it's even in the title for the new Doctor Strange. So I think Doctor Strange will show up in the last episode because we are dealing with magic.
Yes.
And the book that shows up, a lot of people think it's from if you watch the first Doctor Strange movie, when they're going through the library, there is a book missing. It's called, I think it's called The Darkhold, which in the comics is, it can summon the devil. Again, Mephisto, which people think will show up, which would kind of play, devil worship witches, right? Plus, she always mentions her husband, Ralph. Have you noticed that? In every episode, Ralph this, Ralph that. So people are wondering, is Ralph Mephisto? Is she working with the devil?
Or he's Ralph Fiennes. Voldemort.
Whoa!
What a twist!
Could you imagine Voldemort? I think I'm in the wrong universe. Have you seen Harry Potter?
You will lose everything. Abracadabra!
But it's the wrong Ray Fiennes. It's the one from Schindler's List. I think I'm at the wrong place.
No, we need the
English
Gustav.
Good.
Get rid of us hotel. Those fuckers.
Get your hands off my lobby, boy.
Or we get Hades. That was more like a Japanese anime.
You sound like Marlon Brando trying to do like a Japanese anime.
Guys and dolls. Guys and dolls.
I think what's going to happen is, okay, let's talk about her kids. I think her kids are real.
Yeah, they're real.
And they're not being controlled by Agnes because they're sentient. They know they have powers, which is interesting. Even Agatha's shocked by that, how they know stuff. Yes.
I think they're real.
I don't know if they're going to survive because in the comic, they're actually just a figment of her imagination. They're not real.
Yeah.
And I think what's going to happen is, also in the comics, they're actually linked to Mephisto. They're a part of his soul.
Disney won't do shit like that, though. They're little.
I don't know. Elizabeth Olsen did say that there was a very tragic, sad ending to this series.
Interesting.
So I wonder if I think Vision might survive. I don't know how. I think it will be explained in the last 2 episodes. That I think we're done with the mystery part. I think it's time to be
Is it a miniseries or is it a show?
It is a miniseries.
So it's not going to have any more after. Okay.
It's essentially it's its own thing. Think of it as like a 6-hour movie.
Gotcha.
Which is great because I couldn't see this in a movie. I like how it's a show because it can be explored. It's weekly. It's
small. It's small scaled, and I like that actually.
And I like how they're going back to releasing it weekly instead of all at once.
Yeah. Because
this gets you talking every week. You get theories. You draw in more people because you're slowly giving them something like, I want more. And then at the end of every episode, when they say please stand by, everybody loses their shit because they always ended on such a big thing. And that's the secret. Don't get me wrong. I like Netflix, how you can binge stuff like, okay, 1 season. But I think it's smart to do it once a week because it's like water cooler talk. You get to go talk to your friends, be like, what does this mean? What are your thoughts on this? What's going to happen? And slowly they did with The Mandalorian. It draws more people in. Hell, it crashed the Disney site and became the most watched thing ever now. Well, not ever, but like this year so far. So it's doing its job. And then right after that show's done, you have Falcon and Winter Soldier, and then after that's on Loki, and then Miss Marvel, Hawkeye, What If.
So thumbs up for
10 for 10. It's hooked.
Yeah.
I think there are going to be a lot more surprises because I think we're done with the mystery part now. I think the last 2 episodes are going to be like, here's everything.
Yeah.
Here's the shocks. Here's the reveals. And I think there's going to be stuff that a lot of people don't see coming.
Yeah.
Because they know what people are going to expect and they've kind of played to that, but I think they're going to sideline that too. And I do think there's a chance that Evan Peters is actually playing his Quicksilver because we are dealing with the multiverse.
Yeah.
So that'll be really, really fun.
Okay. So
100%
check out WandaVision.
Yep.
All right, let's talk about trailers. 2 trailers. 2 trailers in particular. They were the new biggest trailers of the week.
Do we want to start with the Emma Stone one?
Oh, fine. Cruella. Cruella is... I was going to do a whole video of this, but then I decided to just move on with my life. But now I'm talking about it now, so I guess I did move on. Cruella... apparently a lot of people are excited for this.
It got 74 million views. The trailer alone. That's a big number.
The like is higher than the dislike ratio, so apparently people are loving this. They love its style. They think it's cool, unique, interesting, twisted. People are calling it a Disney Joker movie.
Yeah, because she does go, yeah.
I will say this. Just flat out. This movie looks so fucking stupid.
But here's the real question.
It looks dumb.
In all honesty, will you watch it? Of course, me too. Yeah. And that's how they get you.
Yeah.
That's how they get you.
But I'm to be honest, people, like I know a lot of people are excited, think it looks amazing. I think it looks stupid. It looks dumb.
I think that's going to go to its benefit though, because people didn't expect this. Kind of came out of nowhere. I've known about this for years, but I forgot about it until the other day.
Who the fuck wants a Cruella movie? Like, who wants this?
I think that's a good idea because it's like, okay, hasn't really been explored before.
Yeah, but
do I really want to know her backstory? No.
Like,
but I like how it's like in 1960s Paris. I'm like, okay, that's cool. Fashion, period.
I will say how I think. I always thought Cruella de Vil, like if I ever pictured her backstory, I always pictured her as like this spoiled brat who was given everything she wanted, and that's why she wants her dogs, because she wants it, and now she can't have it. She goes to extremes to get it because she's a brat. Mm-hmm. I never thought of her as a psychopath. Like,
I think she is. She wants to kill dogs.
But she never actually kills them.
No, but she wants their fur so bad. Like, that's just sick to me. That's what makes her a great Disney villain.
Yeah, but in this movie, she reminds me of Joaquin Phoenix and Joker jumping down the stairs or something. It's fucking insane. I'm like, what the hell is this crap? I feel like the creators of this movie, they like saw Joker or something. Like, whoa, we can make a Cruella movie like that. Like, whoa.
There's a small part of me that hopes I'm going to be pleasantly surprised by this movie. A small part. Do I think it's going to be a waste of time? Yeah. I think it's going to be let down like Mulan, which I thought was okay, but I was like, it's what I expected.
Yeah.
And that's not saying a lot. You want to see Mulan, go watch the original. But I think I'm going to be hopefully pleasantly surprised and be like, that was entertaining.
Isn't the whole point of her 101 Dalmatians is it's not the focus of Cruella de Vil? She is the antagonist. Is literally just about the dogs trying to escape. That's literally about. Now there is no dogs, and then there's barely any dogs in the.
What is the post-credit scene gonna be? Like puppy Dalmatians, and she'd be like, "I want those."
But like, it's gonna be like,
is Nick Fury gonna show up and be like, "I want to recruit you"?
What's gonna happen? Like, why should we? Why do we care? Like, why do we care? She's not gonna die in the end. Because it's
a property that Disney owns, and they want to make some money. They're in dire times now.
This is my problem with.
But what's funny is this was filmed in 2019.
The funny thing is,
this movie's been
This is
put out for a while.
This is my problem with prequels, though. Just prequels in general. Some are good, but you know what's gonna happen, though.
Yeah, but I feel like it
takes all tension away.
I feel like they might try and make her an anti-hero like Maleficent.
I doubt it.
Which I hated because Maleficent's not an anti-hero. She's straight up evil. For God's sake, she's like the queen of evil.
She tried to murder them because she wasn't invited to the christening. Like,
someone doesn't invite me to a party, I want to murder them
psycho.
too.
She's fucking nuts. Like, and she wants power, Maleficent. But in this one, in the fucking Maleficent movie, she's like, maybe I'm pretty good.
They made her out to be like,
because the man I love stole my wings, so I'm a good person. And
like, just steal them. You fucking cut them off.
You cut them off. And the funny thing is,
fucking butchered her. It's like cutting off an arm.
And that's supposed to be Aurora's dad. And Aurora's dad in the original is a good guy, but this guy it's Charlton Copley.
Don't you know they had to flesh it out?
But Charlton Copley is like this psycho king, like, I kill you. I'm like, this is the nice king from the original film.
Is this the Mad King? Is this King Targaryen or whatever?
I don't know. It was terrible. And this movie looks terrible. Fuck Cruella. It looks stupid.
I'll watch it. I'm mildly interested, but yeah,
looks dumb. Anyways, Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat. This
fight
opposite end of the spectrum.
Oh yeah,
looks amazing.
Did not expect much. I was blown away.
Now that's a trailer, man. Like that pumps me up, man.
Do you know what's great? You know why it's a good trailer? It caters to the fans. It knows what the fans want.
Yeah, it
doesn't hide what it is, and it goes full out. Especially that end of the trailer. You got to see a finishing move and the famous lines.
What did all the fans,
get over here?
All the fans, all they wanted was like two big things: keep the characters like they are in the video games and make it R-rated. That's all they want.
There's three, and Goro.
Goro
shows up in the trailer.
Yeah,
before that was the high. I'm like, there's Goro.
But a lot of people wanted them They wanted Mortal Kombat R-rated. There's no reason to make a Mortal Kombat movie PG-13.
And they actually got martial artists in the movie.
Yeah. And that's the problem with
they didn't whitewash it.
The stupid 90s.
Oh, hey, the only good thing that ever came out of the movie was the song. Played in all the rave clubs.
I'll fully admit, there's some funny scenes.
It's a movie you watch because it's so bad.
That's Annihilation. Oh. That's a horrendous movie.
No, they're both bad.
But
Annihilation is worse.
I will say Mortal Kombat, the first one, has funny scenes, and I actually think they are trying to be funny. Yeah. It is fun. Like Raiden has a couple of moments, like he's laughing. He's, sorry, like,
that's a meme now.
Like there's also a scene with Johnny Cage. He goes to Liu Kang and he's like, "Hey, you want to carry my bags?" He's like, "You want me to carry your luggage?" He's like, "Yeah, I pay you. You get the bags." So Liu Kang grabs the money, grabs his bags, and throws it in the water. And then Johnny Cage is like, "Well, at least I didn't ask him to park the car." I'm like, okay, it's so dumb, but it's funny. I'm like, that's kind of a funny joke. I like that. This dude asked him to park the car.
I hope Luke Cage. I hope
Luke Cage.
What? You're like, wrong universe. Let's see it. I hope Johnny Cage shows up. I think maybe he'll be like a reveal. Yeah. But like when Goro showed up, I'm like, my heart's melting.
You get to see also a brief second Reptile with the crazy face. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. This movie
focuses on the story that is the most interesting. So Sub-Zero and Scorpion.
Sub-Zero's the villain in this one.
Yeah. Well,
and he looks great.
Sub-Zero massacred Scorpion's people. So
he looks like perfect casting. Yeah. The guy that got him.
Well, the
effects look great.
That is the ultimate rivalry in the Mortal Kombat video games. If you guys play the video games, Scorpion and Sub-Zero hate each other more than anything, and they each have their own reasons, and their hatred is like sickening. They will murder whoever they can to get their revenge on each other. Like they each have caused. I know
that's gonna pick up on the thing.
If you guys are here and Lindsay's on the phone. But Mortal Kombat,
sex line.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat looks badass.
Does
Liu Kang got Kung Lao finally?
You made my excitement go from like a 2.5 to a 9. Just so that's the power of a good trailer.
It just looks boom. It looks bloody. It looks gory. and it's got all the characters, and it's Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat.
You know what I kind of want to talk about now?
What?
We were talking about this earlier. The greatest thing that Robert Rodriguez and Quentin Tarantino ever did together.
From Dusk Till Dawn?
From Dusk Till Dawn.
What about From Dusk Till Dawn?
How it is such a batshit crazy movie that feels like two movies meshed together, yet somehow works.
Yeah. It's like a Tarantino film and a Robert Rodriguez film.
It's got the best joke Tarantino's ever written.
Yeah.
And it goes like this. They're in the RV and they're going over to Mexico.
Yeah.
You've got, what's her name? Juliette Lewis?
Juliette Lewis, yeah.
Juliette Lewis and Quentin Tarantino is playing this character who's in feet.
Yeah.
There's a whole scene about it, how he's sucking on Salma Hayek's toes, which I swear to God, he wrote the movie just to do that. And I'm not talking about just he's going like full out, like fucking making love to this foot. Slobbering over it. It makes you almost want to like feed just how much he does. You're like, oh my God. So they're in the RV, they're going over, he's got a gun pointed at them because he's like, he's holding them hostage. And Julie Lewis is like, where are we going? And he's like, Mexico. And she's like, what's in Mexico? And he goes, Mexicans. And it's the best. It's played straight. And even she's like, okay. But it's just,
My favorite scene
the best joke.
My favorite scene in the whole movie is the pussy scene.
Oh,
Cheech Marin. It's just got like, they go to the bar. It's called the Titty Twister. It's literally just this titty in a spiral. It's great. And
is that the club at the end?
That's
the okay. I forgot the name. Okay, yeah.
So Cheech Marin has got this microphone promoting the club. He said, come on in, guys. We got all kinds of pussy. We got black pussy, white pussy, yellow pussy, brown pussy, hairy pussy, soft pussy, rough pussy, big pussy, light pussy. We got smelly pussy, clean pussy, all the kinds of pussy you want. It's so great.
It just keeps going.
All kinds of pussy.
It's like a biker bar, and everyone's like, yeah.
It's all kinds of pussy. It's just great.
But then the big reveal, halfway, because this was just a movie about a couple of bank robbers, right? Halfway through the movie, they go to the biker bar. The biker bar, they're actually all fucking vampires.
Yeah. It's so funny because there's no mention of vampires.
No.
Then like an hour into the movie, vampires.
It goes into a whole monster movie. It feels like they meshed two movies together. Yeah. Somehow it works. Yeah. And this is before
Let's kill that fucking band.
And this before Quentin Tarantino goes to town on Salma Hayek's foot.
Oh.
Please, if you just YouTube Quentin Tarantino sucking on Salma Hayek's foot, and my goodness, you will not be.
You're letting kids watch that.
I don't think kids are listening to this after you mentioned.
You would be surprised.
Pussy, heavy pussy, smelly
pussy, clean pussy, all the kinds of pussy.
Like, what are you listening to, Jimmy? Oh, Jordan and Ryan's podcast.
It's Mickey Mouse.
Old pussies. Oh my God.
So Mickey
Mouse. Disney's listening.
Mouse is, oh Lord, Daisy, listen to this. Oh, white pussy.
Oh, I guess it's Minnie, not Daisy. Unless Mickey's having an affair.
Well, Mickey's best of both worlds. Oh, I'm white and black. I like both those kinds of pussies. Oh. But
insert Dave Chappelle joke.
And the best is at the end of that speech, he goes, "If you could find better pussy, fuck it."
Fuck it.
But
great movie.
One of my favorite George Clooney performances because he's just such a
wacky.
He's such
this
a
is before he got serious. This is when he was still like weird, and I love it.
Yeah, like the tattoo on his back. He's like a badass.
He plays like an anti-hero, and you don't trust him. You're like, right. And then Quentin Tarantino just plays a total weirdo.
Like he always does that.
Cue the footsie. But yes, it's just
best Tarantino character is Jimmy from Pulp Fiction. I will not say the lines he says in the movie, but so I love Jimmy.
He's good, but do you know who the best Brad Pitt?
Floyd
from True Romance.
True Romance.
And this is before he was famous, and he was just this little. He was just nobody knew his name. They're like, oh, it's Brad Pitt. Okay, and he played he played like this guy who was always stone guy named Floyd.
Yeah.
He was actually the inspiration for Pineapple Express. Funny enough, they're like, oh, what if we make a movie just about him? Okay, and they did. If you've never seen True Romance, is the best. I'm surprised he didn't get an Oscar for that role. It's so great. Best character. And he survives the whole movie. It's great.
Because he doesn't do anything. He just sits
Everybody
there.
Dies, but they're like, yeah.
Well, them two leads don't die.
Get some clean products.
Man.
You know, I would have read the rest of the script. Floyd smoked it all.
But yeah, we'll end it off with this fun little thing. I was born in 1991. Ryan was born in 1992.
Yeah.
So I'm going to talk about
Year of the Monkey.
My favorite film of 1991. And then Ryan's going to pick his favorite film of 1992. There was a couple of things I wanted to go with. Maybe like a Point Break or Fisher King, Silence of the Lambs, all great films. But I was tossed between two. Beauty and the Beast or Terminator 2. I'll go Beauty and the Beast because it's my favorite Disney film. Great film. I think it's the best film that came out. I still think it is hands down the best animated Disney film with Fantasia. I think it's one of the best. Fantasia is not like a cohesive story. It's just a bunch of shorts. So as just a cohesive story, Beauty and the Beast is the best, I think. Personally, is my opinion, obviously. It's my favorite. And I love it. And it came out the year I was born. And yeah, love it. Beauty and the Beast, favorite film. 1981.
My turn now?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, folks, you ready for this one? I don't know if you are, but Jordan's just shaking his... Oh,
don't say it. Say a real movie.
I'm going to... No, this was a movie I liked. So
real movie.
I let you talk.
Go ahead.
Respect my authority. My favorite movie of the good old year, the year of the monkey, 1992, is... Encino Man.
It's not a movie.
It is a movie.
It's Pauly Shore.
Which is the greatest thing that ever
He's
happened.
the cancer of comedy. He's horrible.
How can you not you want some it is
Biodome Marco Shello. Marco Shello. He's so annoying.
You have Brendan Fraser is the Encino Man. He's a guy who's unfrozen from the past. He's like a caveman. They teach him how to drive and everything, how to eat slushies in California. It is the greatest movie ever.
I can't take you seriously sometimes.
Now that I will remark that it's not my favorite movie. I just did that to piss Jordan off. It's always a pleasure doing that. My actual favorite movie of 1992. I have a bunch. I would have to pick. It's a Disney film. Aladdin. Great movie. Great Robin Williams performance.
That movie,
fantastic.
I feel like that movie would be a good movie, but without Robin, it's
like a 6.
It's just fine.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Robin's improv he
makes that film.
Oh yeah,
it still has his good songs and good animation, but Robin puts it to his
improv. There was a story how they wrote the script for his part, and then they learned to throw out the script when he was doing improv because. There's actually a tale how the directors were talking about actually recently how they recorded so much improv dialogue and bits that Robin Williams did on the spot. A lot of it they couldn't clear through licensing. There was also a lot of it that was
R-rated.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which just is sitting in the Disney archives that they can't release because it's not art. But they said they would love to do one day, but they can't because it's raunchy. Which
bring the kitties.
Gather in, children. But yeah, those are Encino Man and Aladdin.
Well, one of those is a real movie.
Hey,
yeah.
Okay.
So that was just a quick little podcast. If this video does well, 1 week from today, we will do a 5th episode,
and we will keep doing it weekly until you guys hate us. Or send us threatening emails.
If we don't do it again, it is completely his fault. Go on his social media and ruin his life just like every SJW does to every celebrity.
Oh, no.
We're going to get feminists on here. They're
going to find out about that homeless kid I ran over one time.
We're going to get feminists on here. And they'll be like, oh, they said pussy 15 times. What a bunch of chauvinistic pigs.
We were talking about cats. Old cats, smelly cats, black cats, white cats, clean cats. Dirty cats.
Smelly cats.
Smelly cats. Smelly cats. Are they feeding you?
Okay, yeah.
I love Seinfeld.
I'm taking that Friends poster down.
Oh, it's great. All right.
You want to
end it? No, you keep it.
This is
where we're going to end it now. No, we're ending the podcast. It's done.
We're
getting bored now.
I want to talk about a story. A story about a man. A story about a dude. I'm not talking about any dude.
Okay, they're Big Lebowski.
I'll talk about the dude.
The dude.
Do you notice that movie, the narration just goes nowhere? I don't know what he's even talking about.
He was a lazy fella.
Yeah. He even loses track. I lost my place. I'm talking about the dude.
He seems show up and
The dude abides.
Dude abides.
All right, so thank you guys for listening. And if you want to see more, click right here, like, subscribe,
those like buttons, they help the YouTube algorithm. They get us out there. We get more views. We do more of these. We cover more wide range of topics. So please like and share,
subscribe, comment if you have suggestions.
Yep, we for future topics.
Yeah,
we do read all of them. We try to comment when we can.
If you want Ryan to suck a live dildo on the air, we can make that happen.
Jordan, at least clean yours off first before I do that.
Okay. So enjoy. Happy Hanukkah, even though Christmas is over. Take care. Live long and prosper. End of line.
Bye.
Bye.